everybody and welcome to another video. We're just about to go on to the Mad Mile here and we're looking at the car in front of us, who chooses, like the car in front of that, to go to the right hand lane where it will stay for the whole duration of the Mad Mile. And guess what? It doesn't overtake a bean. Not one thing does it overtake. And bearing in mind it is a Toyota, I had the music all ready for it. But no, I cannot blame this giant sack of shit. It's not a private hire driver. It's not one of Sadiq Khan's license to kill assassins. Oh no, he's just an idiot. He's also driving a defective car that's got one light out. It cannot see anything behind it that wants to overtake it. And it stays in the outside lane the whole duration of the road. It doesn't even turn right here with me, which I could sort of understand a little bit if it did that. But no, he stays in the outside lane. And it wasn't a private hire driver. Maybe it should be. Now in this clip, again, we're looking at the car in front of us. There is two cars in front of that. You can only see one pretty much because it's so close to the car in front of it that it has to keep hitting the brakes. So there must be something wrong with its eyesight, I think. Anyway, the impatience part is another issue, I guess. But I think there's something wrong with this guy's eyesight, because in a second you'll see a van coming towards us with its headlights on, because the weather conditions are shocking at the moment. The camera doesn't do it justice. For all you people playing London Dashcam bingo, there's one for you. Now it chooses to overtake when there isn't a gap for it really to overtake. Really? You couldn't see that van coming towards you there? Oh, he's a proper numpty, him. He's a proper one. And as the speed limit goes down to 30, he actually increases his speed. Now we're approaching a roundabout on this clip, and as I keep saying, it's priority to traffic approaching from the right. But you do have to be a little bit close to the roundabout for that to actually work. Now we're looking at a small car coming towards us that has got small car syndrome. That one over there, because it uses the horn on that van to my right hand side. I mean, the van to the right hand side is almost on the roundabout, and look how far the car is, and it uses a horn and then does that. Yeah. What you're bibbing for? You're not even close to the roundabout.
But the interesting thing was that the only goal of the game, all games broke.
Now in this clip, it's all about the mobile phone again. This guy behind me is constantly on his mobile phone, obviously getting jobs and stuff like that, I would think anyway. You can see him tinkering about with his phone there, and I'm about to pick someone up in a very dodgy place yet again. But being a private hire driver, you are allowed to stop on double yellow lines and stuff like that. Red routes even, you're allowed to stop. You're even allowed to go into bus lanes to pick someone up, as long as you go straight back out of the bus lane once your customer is in the car. And the same for dropping them off as well. So you do get a little bit of leeway being a private hire driver on these circumstances. It does look like he's trying to undertake me here for some reason. Now you'll hear my indicator go on in a second as I'm pulling over. Now he's late to see it because he's messing about on his phone. At least he does check to see if there's a car behind him. And as you can see, as soon as my customer gets in the car, or as you can hear... Hiya, you alright? I'm literally on my way. I don't hang about in these places as much as I can, because it is not a nice place to stop there. So we're talking about mobile phones. I've passed the stop line here and I want to go round this car in front of me. There is a huge gap in front of this car in front of me, but it's not pulling up to make it easy for me to go round it. I wonder why. Oh, look where the head is. Look where the head is. Yeah, another mobile phone user, but she looks like an old girl. You'd think she should know better, shouldn't you? Look at the gap that she's got in front of her to make it a little bit easier for me and the car behind her now. We've got to squeeze past the gap to get past her because she's, well, something very important on her mobile phone. Now in this clip, answers on a postcard if you can tell me what I did wrong. Because someone uses the horn on me here. I'll show you it from the front and you'll listen to the, you can hear the horn go off in a second. Yeah, that was directed at me, and I will show you it from the rear to point out the idiot that bibbed me. This one directly behind me. Because I think its arse end was in the yellow box junction and it panicked and wanted me to move up into a space that wasn't there. I don't know what that hand gesture means, but yeah, you can see how close it's getting to me. I assume that it was that. He panicked because he was in the yellow box junction a little bit, but I don't know where he expected me to go. Now it's that time of the year where your car is normally iced up or frosted up or misted up inside. You've got to get up 5 minutes earlier to demist it. You can't drive around with it like that. That is just pig ignorance and dangerous. I think it's also against the law to drive around with it like that, not being able to see out your windscreen. Answers on the postcard to let me know if I'm correct there. In this clip, we are looking at the private hire in front of us. He doesn't want that lane, he wants the lane where the buses are. That's also a red light. I wonder where you're going, mate. So now we are looking at the Audi over there. Always an Audi. Its stop line is all the way back there. This can happen on this roundabout because of badly phased lights. It always happens, to be honest. Not can happen, it always happens. But for me, if I'd got stuck there, I would wait for my lights to turn green, because you can still see his lights. They're right in front of him, but he goes when they're still red. I know he's past the stop line, but he didn't have to wait long, as you'll see by the car behind him that goes when it's green. Now in this next clip, we're going to be looking at another learner. Or is it the instructor we look at? Or the learner could be on test, who knows? It's round these back streets, so it makes me think that it's new to driving, but it's driving quite confidently, quite fast. You know, rather than on a main road, when they take them out on a main road, all the learners go round these back streets to learn how to drive properly before going out onto the main roads. But this one is driving quite confidently, quite fast. But then something happens up here which I've got to blame the instructor. If it ain't on test, I've got to blame the instructor here. As you can see, a pretty empty road. And then we get this. You're just going to stop. You're just going to stop in the road, yeah? With someone behind you. Now, if you're going to practice parallel parking, do you practice parallel parking over someone's driveway there? Or are they going to go in behind that driveway? But surely you don't just stop in the middle of the road when you've got someone behind you as well. Look at this road. It's empty. There's not a bean on the road. There's nothing on the road, and yet they stop in the middle of the road. But surely part of parallel parking is to not inconvenience anyone behind you or in front of you. And they obviously did by just stopping in the middle of the road, and they're still in the middle of the road. So let us know in the comments section down below. Am I overreacting to this, or was that poor instructions? Now in this clip, we're just coming off the M23 heading towards Gatwick, and we're looking at these two cars behind us. The car on the left wants to move over. The car directly behind me is not keen on letting this one move over. So they have a little bit of an argy-bargy down here. I don't understand. Maybe there's something happened on the M23 that they've still carried it on onto the junction afterwards. I'm going to move over. You can see the Volvo does want to get over already, and it just tries to push its way in and gets told get out of it. Yeah, like I say, I think that was probably a little bit of afters what was going on the M23. I didn't see anything on the M23, but you never know. And then it eventually gets over into middle lane. Now in this next clip we're in Reigate and we're coming up to a level crossing, so the traffic is a little bit heavy. There's only one lane here that goes off to the level crossing, as you can see, one lane, and then it goes into a right turn only lane. Now I'll show you where the right turn is because it's very important to what happens. Just past this car here, just past the zebra crossing, is the right turn where you should be turning right, and then it goes to hatch markings again. It's quite simple, isn't it? You turn right there. Yeah. Now up there in the distance there is a big lorry coming towards us. See it there? Now that's very important as well. Now if we go to the rear camera, you'll see someone that's a little bit impatient who thinks that he doesn't have to wait in this queue. He's driving a pickup truck just coming round the bend now. Round to the outside. It's alright if he's turning right, but he's not. He's going straight on. As you heard, the lorry wasn't very impressed with that. I mean, there isn't a lot of room there. You're not supposed to use the hatch markings like that. See the car in front of me? That is how I would have done it, because you don't need to drive on the hatch markings, or you shouldn't drive on the hatch markings unless you really have to. And that guy didn't really have to. It's just that he didn't want to wait in a queue. Now the second part of this clip happens when we get over the level crossing here. Now the two vehicles in front of me, that van and the red car here, they overtake something that really they shouldn't have, but it's not really their fault. It's the car that's in front of them that it's their fault. That it's their road positioning is awful, and it's actually invited them to overtake it. The white van is going around it now, and now the red car is going around it. All this car in front of me is doing is being nice to let someone out, but you should be over to the right. You've left a great big gap inviting someone to overtake you there. So really poor positioning on the road there. I don't know why you were over to the left so far, and I also don't know why you were trying to let that person out in the first place. Let them wait. Now in this clip it's another bike one, scooter. It's not in shot yet. There it is. It's just come around that bend there with its lights on. Now I don't know why they seem to think that they can stop on a pinhead. You know, they get so close to you that if I hit my brakes it'd be in my back seat. I mean, look how close it is. Then it moves over to the centre of the road, but doesn't back off. That's it. It's like a few feet away from me. Now this is a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm doing 20, but it doesn't matter to bikes, does it? They seem to think that as long as they can overtake or filter or anything else, they can do it. Speed limits are irrelevant. Now you see the car up there in front, it does exactly the same to that as well. It goes right up close to it, really close, and then it turns right into a Lidl up here, but it needs 2 bites at the cherry to actually take the right turn. It has a little swerve up because it adjusts itself. Now I know it's quite a long way away, and depending on what you're watching on, it will be difficult to see it, but it's almost touching its bumper. And then you'll see it turn right in a second. It has to have 2 bites of the cherry there. Look, and again, the life expectancy of that one isn't that great, I wouldn't have thought. An organ donor in the waiting. Now my mate Sadiq Khan has decided to put bike lanes all over the shop, which means if you want to park down this road, 2 cars can't get past each other. They could do if these bike lane barriers wasn't there, but I shouldn't have to wait for these coming towards me anyway. Alright. You're welcome. Don't mention it, mate. Don't mention it. You're welcome. Now the thing is, that guy was in a parking bay, so he's not illegally parked. I will show you it from the rear camera in a second, just to show you it wasn't just me. You don't expect them to stop though, do you? Them little one-car transporters, they're fucking awful drivers. Alright. You're welcome. Don't mention it, mate. Don't mention it. You're welcome. And as you can see, Another brilliant invention to help traffic flow around London. Now in this next clip, I've got to say it, the camera doesn't do this justice. I'm turning right here. We're looking way over to the left. A bike coming round this bend. There he is. Look how dangerous that is. Look how close he is to that car there and close to me.
Fucking idiot. How close are these? God, it's unreal. Fucking bikes, just unreal.
I couldn't get my words out first of all because I was in absolute shock of just how fast he went round that bend. As I say, the camera didn't do it justice. Now in this clip we're in Streatham. Yeah, good old Streatham. We come over the bridge here and we're going straight on. So you stay to the left hand side. To the right hand side, as you can see, look, it's a right turn only lane. Yeah, you know what's going to happen, don't you? You obviously know what's going to happen. There is someone that doesn't think that it needs to wait in the queue. Which motor is it?
Shitting Peugeot, shitting Peugeot, shitting Peugeot.
Yep, you got your company name written on the side of your van and you're going to do a naughty right here.
I don't think you're turning right, mate, are you?
I've got to say, out of all the car makes I take the piss out of on this channel, Peugeots are the ones that are the most sensitive. I get so many emails and comments saying, stop picking on our Peugeot, stop playing that tune.
Oh, what a surprise! What a surprise!
Shitting Peugeot, shitting Peugeot, shitting Peugeot.
And the funny thing is, Audis and trainee Audi drivers, the Fiat 500s, seem to have the best sense of humour. They seem to get the joke. They seem to have a laugh with it, rather than get upset about it, unlike these Peugeot people.
For fuck's sake. Learn to drive, learn to indicate as well.
And on that note, guys, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.